We're about to start another mission into unformatted matter. I'm starting to feel like a pro.
So Penelope told me the lab is going to try again to build a world where they've solved world-ending problems. They also said that they added a few things to make it less dangerous.
What did they mean by that?
I'm not sure. I don't think they know. Wow, Penelope, you look really good.
You know how to flatter a girl.
I agree. Your dress makes you look like a goddess.
Thank you, Ryan. I like what you're wearing too. I'm a big fan of navy blue. It's always nice to see the team get along. Well, this will be our second attempt at solving world-ending problems. The lab told me that the equation this time was tailored to offer more safety, so this might alter the realism. Everyone, get ready for anything. Do you think it'll get crazy? Has it ever not been crazy? Good. The conversation is interrupted by a crackle over the speaker in the room.
Prepare to enter unformatted matter. In 3, 2, 1.
No one says a word. We're all expecting the worst. Well, this looks totally normal.
I am Oceanus, Titan of the sea. Welcome all to the underwater portion of the environmental expeditions.
It's never normal, is it? Oceanus looks straight at Penelope. I can tell it's going to get weird.
I can see we're not the only divine creature present. Wouldn't you say, Teddies?
An object of radiant beauty, to be sure.
Never mind. Everything's normal.
You're not serious.
Of course I'm serious. Please be quiet so I can enjoy the experience.
I am Teddy's, Titan of freshwater. Together, Oceanus and I will be your guides through the environmental expeditions. While on your journey with us, you will be given a great deal of information about the world's environment and what we can do to take care of it. For now, could you please board the submarine in an orderly fashion?
We might be in luck. Maybe this is how we'll get information on solving world-ending problems. Or we'll just be bombarded with useless ecology facts.
That wouldn't be so bad.
It just seems that we're bombarded with that kind of stuff constantly. And I'm getting numb to it.
Suddenly we hear soft, gentle music over the speakers in the sub.
The oceans are vastly unexplored by mankind. 50% to 80% of the life on Earth can be found in the ocean. The melting of the ice caps once threatened us with total ecological devastation.
Here comes the answer we've all been waiting for.
We didn't know it at the time. But the world's growing population was a solution to global sea level rise.
That is unbelievably dumb.
Not only do people need water to drink, but our agriculture and livestock need water also. As we add billions to our population, our need for water almost requires melting the ice caps.
This is too good. Ryan, you should see your face. This mission was totally worth it.
No. It is absolutely not. That can't be true.
Wait a minute, Ryan. This could explain why we haven't got the predicted sea level rise we've been expecting.
So you're saying one global problem canceled out another?
Well,
Yes. That's what she's saying. I agree with it. Not just because it's so funny.
I'm glad you think this is funny.
Excuse me. Hi, my name is Bobby. What's so funny? I like jokes.
aren't you just the cutest?
Oh. You're pretty.
And you're so polite. Are you with your parents?
My dad lets me come here all the time by myself. It's super safe. Can I stay with you?
Absolutely. Do you mind if my friends come along?
Sure they can. Because they're funny.
Yes, they are. Well, Bobby. My name is Penelope. We've never been on this trip before. What is it like?
It's going to be so cool.
Is that Tethys and Oceanus swimming with sharks?
That's what it looks like.
With tails. Because now they have tails.
I didn't want to bring that up. Because it seemed weird.
I completely understand your hesitation.
You two are the only ones being weird. Just relax and enjoy the experience. That way you'll have less regret when it's over. I see a pirate ship on the screen up there. Where is the best place to look at that?
I can show you. It's over here. I get sad a little when I see the ship.
Why is that?
Well, because lots of people got hurt. And some of them. And some didn't.
I know it's scary, but you're okay. Everything is okay.
This reminds me of the first mission I went on with Nick and Penelope. I was so scared when things were starting to go wrong. It's important to stay calm and to keep others calm in those situations.
But then I think, what if something bad happens to me?
And when it does, I know you're going to do your best. And I'll be so proud of you. Every day you grow bigger and stronger. You're going to be able to beat so many problems. It's going to be so wonderful. You'll see.
I will be pretty great. Thank you, Miss Penelope.
You are very welcome.
And if I'm on a sinking ship, I'll just start swimming.
That's a great plan, Bobby.
I'll even grow a tail like Oceanus.
Okay. What?
Ryan. Don't you ruin this for him.
First, he's not going to solve every problem he faces. And second, he's not going to grow a tail.
Shame on you, Ryan. Listen to me, Bobby. You don't have to solve every problem. You just have to try to solve the ones that are important to you. And you don't need a tail to swim, so you still have a good plan.
Thank you, Miss Penelope.
We don't actually know that Bobby wouldn't grow a tail.
Seriously.
We hear Oceanus's voice over the speakers in the submarine.
In a moment the sub will return to the surface and we will embark on the second part of our environmental expedition. All of our regulars seem to enjoy that.
Yeah. Now we go for the nature walk. Can you walk with me so that I don't get lost?
Absolutely. And you can make sure to keep me safe.
I sure will.
You know he's been on this environmental expedition before. He won't get lost.
Ryan. That doesn't matter. We're not going to listen to mean old Mr. Ryan. He doesn't have any fun.
Yeah. Nature walk.
It isn't long till we get back on land. The fresh air of the countryside is a nice change to the cramped sub. Ever since we started on this path, Bobby has been so excited. I hope that's a good sign. Penelope leans in to talk with Nick.
I like seeing kids play. It's like he doesn't have a care in the world. That's how it should be.
Don't worry. He'll grow up soon.
Ryan. Don't ruin this moment.
Everyone has to grow up. I'm sorry. That's not my fault.
I know, but kids should be concerned about having fun. Problems are for adults.
I see where you're coming from.
Penelope pauses for a moment and then turns to Bobby.
Bobby. Do you know where this path goes?
It goes to the ruins. That's where Tethys and Oceanus talk about all those people who are gone now. Tethys says that all civilizations end. That means we will someday too. That means I will. I'm too young.
Right now. You're with me. And it will be okay.
Bobby begins to relax. And he brings his breathing under control. It's normal for people to get scared. The important thing is to try and stay calm. And sometimes that takes help. Good thing we have Penelope and Nick.
Every day. We have opportunities to live life and experience problems. Even though that might seem bad. It's an opportunity to learn. The more you learn, the easier a lot of your problems will get.
When you put it that way, it's not that bad. How'd you get that smart?
I learned it from Nick. He always tells us to look on the bright side.
Yeah, Bobby. Everything that happens to you is for a reason. The situation always teaches you a lesson. Or makes you stronger somehow.
Wow.
Nick talks like this all the time.
Then you're lucky.
I don't know about that.
I wasn't sure if you ever paid attention to me when I would get on my soapbox. Knowing you listen means a lot.
Penelope then looks at Bobby.
Bobby. I like listening to Nick when he says things like that. Because it makes me feel safe. That makes it easier to face my problems.
Thank you, Penelope.
Anytime.
Nick is funny when he's red.
I think you're adorable, Nick.
All this positivity is nice, but it doesn't actually change things. It won't change a single bad thing that happens to you.
It does change how I feel about it. And that matters a lot.
He's so adorable.
I can't wait to share all the things I've learned from Miss Penelope and Mr. Nick with Oceanus and Tethys.
We'd better go catch him.
Wait for me, Bobby. Isn't this fun?
Let's get this over with.
See? This is the ruins. It's all fallen over and everybody's gone.
How do you feel about that?
It used to make me really sad. But now I'm not as sad.
This was once the center of a great civilization. However, every civilization meets its end.
But from the ashes of one civilization, another one always grows. Often we build on what came before, so that civilizations get greater and greater. Life and death is a constant cycle that everyone moves through.
Ryan leans over to Penelope.
Unless you're a titan. Apparently.
Does anyone have questions about the site or for us?
Yes. I do.
Go ahead. What would you like to know, Bobby?
So then it's okay when people have to go away. Because they leave useful stuff for us to use.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
So one day when I have to go away, I'll leave stuff for other people to use. That way they will remember me.
That is a very mature way to look at things. This is quite a positive change for you.
Miss Penelope and Mr. Nick helped me.
Thank you both very much. Oceanus and I were right about your Penelope. You are something special.
Perhaps we should make her an honorary Titan of Wisdom.
Oceanus. Maybe you're laying this on a little thick?
This isn't too thick. It's just thick enough.
So is there anything we can do to survive the collapse of civilization?
When Rome fell, it was considered the start of the Dark Ages. But with centralized control gone, nations could develop a more creative governing style. Usually what people consider bad is just a matter of perspective.
We can't just stand by and let bad things happen.
You can do your best to lower the probability that an event will occur. But at some point you must be comfortable with the idea that bad things will happen. Instead of trying to avoid an event you perceive as a catastrophe, focus on surviving that event. Let that be your monument which stands the test of time.
Wait a second. None of this changes the facts. Even if people leave something great behind once they die, it doesn't change the fact that they're dead. That doesn't help them at all.
How do you know that's bad anyway? Maybe there's something more after death. No one knows for sure. And if you're going to die regardless, maybe it's best to be optimistic.
You sound exactly like Nick.
What we're trying to say is that preventing every bad thing from happening in your life is impractical. Most of the time your energy would be better spent surviving. Consider earthquakes, fires and floods. Preparing for those events is a lot more practical than trying to prevent them from ever happening.
It's okay, Mr. Ryan. I know that you can solve lots of problems. Just like I will learn to do.
Well, would you look at that? Ryan can't bring himself to argue this with Bobby.
I guess so, but
And you will do big things. Just wait and see.
well. Thanks, Bobby.
All good things must come to an end. And that concludes the environmental expeditions. I know it's almost time for some of you to go.
She's right. What about Bobby?
It's okay, Miss Penelope. I know that you have to go soon. It was very nice to meet you.
I'm very glad to have met you too.
Oceanus and I will take Bobby home. Consider it a favor between Titans.
Thank you so much. Everything begins to fade as we leave the unformatted matter.
It looks like the lab guys haven't ironed out all the bugs yet.
I disagree. Things went surprisingly well this time.
We met Titans. Then they turned into fish people. I should have been more clear. This trip was unbelievably strange.
I liked Oceanus and Tethys.
Because they put you on the level of goddess.
Because I am on the level of a goddess.
You're absolutely right.
Ryan does have something of a point. I don't think the lab meant to make Titans. How did that happen?
Suddenly I hear a voice over the speakers in the room.
We can explain that. The specific problem we were hoping to solve with this mission was preventing sea level rise in order to prevent social collapse.
That explains all the water. And the lost civilization. But what about the two titans?
Most ancient civilizations worshipped sea deities. It's not too far a jump to go from sea level rise to sea titans.
So which of us is responsible for making this association?
None of you were responsible for modifying the formula this time.
I blame Ryan's navy blue clothes.
My clothes. What about Penelope's clothes?
What's wrong with my clothes?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oceanus did say you were like a divine creature.
But you were the one that said I looked like a goddess.
Further proof that I think nothing is wrong with what you're wearing.
I really like what you're wearing.
Thank you, Nick. You're always so sweet.
Again. None of you were responsible for modifying the formula.
So what I'm hearing is that even if it is one of our faults, it's not mine.
Nick's laughter breaks the tension in the group.
Then how did the association with sea level and sea titans happen?
We can't explain it yet. But only people can make that kind of association. So that does narrow it down. A little.